I got a couple of things I would like to say, a couple of extra things I'd like to say about the agency and the workers in it. Um, while I was really not transitioning out, but I was basically getting kicked out of my foster home because she wasn't receiving any funds. That, like, my foster father, he said, could look at it in her shoes, but really look at it in my shoes. How would you really feel if somebody is getting placed in homelessness? Actually, and it's not even a person that been around, like, been experiencing the world. There's somebody that's new to the world, like, not really new to the world, but new to the world, figuratively speaking, because, like, how do you explain it? Like, they're not, as a 21-year-old, you're not really, and you don't have the tools to even survive. How can a mother, that's the proper term if she's supposed to be a mother, how is a mother supposed to kick a child out to homelessness? It's crazy, but as I was transitioning out of foster, as I was going through my situation, my agency, they lied. They did so many lying for 4 months. I had to wait. My extension didn't even go in until 2 days before my birthday. I keep saying this over and over, but it's one of the most crucial points in my story, because it's so crucial that how do you put an extension to policy in 2 days before the person's 21st birthday? How do you really expect that to be approved? I got it approved though. It was a miracle. I gotta really laugh about it, really rejoice for that one. I got it approved because of all the help I received. And once again, I had to say, FPA, they really worked a miracle for me. That was a blessing. But they placed the extension of policy in 4 days before my birthday. And then while you doing that, they're messing up my housing applications. They never, for 3 months, my housing application kept coming back. Oh, we need this information. And every time they came and asked for that information, the agency withheld it. They withheld it. Never put it in. Never. Oh, we don't know what they're asking for. We need it. How hard is it to figure out what they're asking for? They say it right there. So it's either one or two things. Either the housing authority is not doing their job, or you're not doing your job. And from the looks of it, they were doing their job. So that only leaves you. And I'm no mathematician, but you're the wrong one. And my caseworker, the only word, excuse my language, she's a dummy. She's a dummy, because the first thing she did was was saying, oh, I put it in, but yet, where's the information? Her supervisor, he's a liar. He lied to me, he lied to my advocates. They had to really bluff him out. It really wasn't a bluff, but in the end it became a bluff, because you had to really go to extreme measures. And I mean extreme measures, where a foster youth is about to go into the shelter. One bad situation to another. That's how extreme it was. And you had to really push to actually get something meaningful to happen. He lied. He said, I'm not compliant with him. I'm not doing what I have to do. But yet, I received no help with job assistance. I received no help with school. I was getting my check taken from my foster parents for every little thing I borrowed, because you get a certain amount and then you have to use it for so much stuff. And being in college, you have to come up with your own coffin now. You're not in high school anymore. You're not funded by the government anymore. You're now an adult planning your own future for your own schooling. and you gotta come out your own pocket for that. And now, when your foster parents taking out every little bit, you don't really get the proper tools you need to continue on. Because I failed my first year of college. I failed because of stuff like that. I wasn't able to get to school on time. I tried to put in an appeal and I got denied because my reasons wasn't valid enough to say that my agency did me wrong. And it should have been valid enough because they really did. They did me so wrong. They supported my foster parent when she really shouldn't be supported. She should be she should be put on, like, I don't even know the proper word to really come up and say it, but she's the reason why a lot of, like, I failed college, and I could have did better, and I wish I did, but the fact that I couldn't even get to school really made that impossible to really put in my effort. Because how am I supposed to put in my effort when I can't even get to school? How do you keep somebody from going to school? By being greedy? Is that what really makes you go to sleep at night? That you got an extra couple dollars in your bank account? Because that's what it basically was about, because that's what I had to go through. I had to go through so much, and I couldn't even continue my education. I'm pushing out to get my education because of those past mistries, like those inconveniences to me. And my agency supported her 100%. And those I would say not misguided, but in those so wrongful attempts to keep me subdued. Because that's what they did. For 17 years, they kept me subdued. They really kept me, like, underwater. And it's like stupid, because I couldn't even the first thing before March of 2013, I couldn't give you the first right in foster care. The only thing I could tell you is that the foster parent is not supposed to hit you. That was the first thing. March has been a turning point for me, because I came into this organization and I really found out my rights. And one day meeting the lady, Miss Matthews, one day in meeting her, I got all my rights. I got job information. She even pushed for me. She even helped pay for some of my job training. Like, my foster parent, who knew me for years, matter of fact, never even gave that to me. And the agency, they told me after I received all my job training that I did myself, that they pay for it. And then once I tried to give them my certificate stuff so I could get reimbursed for that, now all of a sudden I can't get it. Like, I'm still in the agency waiting for my extension, but yet I'm not in foster care. That makes no sense, because I'm not mistaken, you're in foster care while you're waiting for your extension. That's the rules. My law guardian enforced it, my advocates enforced it, ACS enforced it, but yet my agency did not enforce it. They pushed me, they broke me down mentally. I was a wreck for a couple months, because from March, from actually January, came and went. I was trying to help myself. February came, and you can't even help yourself, because now you don't even have no funding coming in, because you don't have a job. You look for a job, and you can't even travel nowhere because you don't have no money. The agency not giving you no more money. So now you're in 100% struggle zone, and like, how are you supposed to survive? And I would even call myself lucky for even getting the help from my foster parent, because she didn't even help me. She did it for her own selfish needs. She kept me in the house with the hope of getting funding, which she actually received. And that's the whole thing. You receive funding for a kid, and she received funding, but we can't, and she still take our money, and they still back her up. what where's the justice in that? That's not even the right word I want to use. There's so much stronger words I want to use, but I really wouldn't. But it's so much. It's how do you support that? That's what I really want to know. How do you sit there and stand behind a 100% lady that does bad things? I've been in the foster care agency, and I realized, and I was told this, and I realized it for myself, that a lot of foster parents, the good ones, they get eliminated out of the agency, but the bad ones is there because the bad ones are there for money and they support the agency, while the good ones support the kids and they get pushed out, which is really, really disappointing and despicable. Actually, that's a better word, because it's wrong. It's really wrong, and that's wrong. I gotta really say that again. It's wrong, because how do you put children in that situation? Children, youth, young adults, we're all striving to get somewhere in this world, and you're just holding us back when you're supposed to be pushing us up. And that's my problem with my agency there. And I know I've seen a lot of different kids come through this organization, and I see their issues and their problems, and it's crazy. You gotta be in foster care. You gotta go through this. You gotta really go through this mental anguish, right? Like how do you put people through that? You gotta keep asking that question over and over. Like, girls, young men fight, kids fighting backups, adults in the house. Like, you place hands on them for what? We don't even get the necessary tools in the hot weather, 90, 100-degree weather. We get one fan for a room of 3 people.